Who better than me?
Welcome back to another impromptu episode of the Hardcore Casual with your boy, Bass the Kid. Now I just got in from the gym and I wasn't really going to do this one, but I did want to talk about it yesterday and kind of forgot. So I thought, let me just jump back in real quick and sort of address this. Because it's a situation I'm kind of interested in. So, as most of you probably know by now, Miss GB herself, Natasha Joinus, has left Matchroom and joined Boxer on what's being described as a long-term deal. And she's saying that she's basically no more politics, just down to boxing, and she's going after the belts. Now, on one hand, I'm like, do your thing, because most people will know that I like Tash. One of my sort of guilty pleasures in the female ranks. I don't like to think of her as an also ran. Like, I think she's better than that. She's definitely championship material. She just hasn't really necessarily stepped up to the plate when she's supposed to. Minus the Terry Harper fight, realistically, I think she won that, and I think most people think she won that fight and was kind of hard done by. But even the things like the Obernoff defeat and all those things, just the career hasn't quite panned out the way it's supposed to. And she's getting on in age now, so it's not even like you've got time to rebuild and rebrand and work on things. It's like, however, whatever she is now is basically what she's going to be. But more to the point, my thing is this. So she's left Matchroom to go and try and collect belts. She said anywhere between 130 and 147, I think she said she could try and compete. So you look at 130, even though she's fighting tomorrow in the unification, but Maeva Hamadouche is a Matchroom fighter. Terry Harper's a Matchroom fighter. And to the best of my knowledge, Hyun-Mi Choi is still a Matchroom fighter. Now, that might have changed. Maybe she's severed ties with them, but I don't see how Eddie would let that be the case when his idea is to have Terry Harper unify and eventually become undisputed. So I can't really see him letting Hyun-Mi Choi out of her contract, especially as they haven't had their fight yet. But for the time being, I'll say she's a Matchroom fighter, but could be wrong. So the only person who's not is Michaela Mayer. This is at 130. So this fight, essentially, not this fight, sorry, this move is banking on Michaela Mayer beating Maeva Hamadouche tomorrow for that IBF strap, so that she's got the WBO and the IBF and the Ring magazine. Would Tasha then get a voluntary against Michaela Mayer with the whole Sky Sports and Top Rank partnership that's happening thus far? I don't know. I mean, would Michaela Mayer take Natasha Joinus as a voluntary? Not sure. I couldn't tell you at all. But you look at that, you say, okay, so currently 3 of the 4 belts at 130 are with Matchroom. At 135, all the belts are with Matchroom because Katie Taylor's got them all. Now, Tasha was offered the Katie Taylor rematch and chose not to take it. I don't know the reason why. She said that she's going to explain all at a later date, which I'm very keen to hear about. I want to know exactly what happened and what the situation was and why the move changed, and that's why she made that move. But 135, all the belts are tied up. 140, there's currently a tournament going on. I mean, Chantel Cameron's got 2 of the belts now. The other 2, Kaylee Reese, Jessica Kamara, are about to take and have their fight for, plus the IBO as well. But then they're going straight into a Chantel Cameron fight after that at 140. Then you go to 147. Jessica McCaskill's got all the belts at 147. Guess what? Another Matchroom fighter. So the move itself makes no sense to me. Like, joining Sky to go on a title quest, but you've gone to a promotion that has no titles, and you're not a mandatory in any division currently that I've seen for the IBF, the WBO, WBC, WBA. I mean, do they have regular titles in the women's division? I think they do. I mean, are you going for a regular? Is that what you're aiming for now? I don't get it. Like, the move itself, if it's just a case of wanting activity, even that doesn't necessarily make sense to me, because you could have got heaps of activity on Matchroom and still been a lot closer to the belts than you are now. So unless this is a move more about securing the next phase of the career, which is like punditry and hosting and stuff, because she's pretty good on the analysis and the punditry, and I enjoy watching Tash when she's doing a post-fight analysis or being on the panel, sort of having her conversations. So unless it's something to do with that, I don't understand this move at all. I know there's been times when, like for instance, Joe Gallagher and Eddie Hearn don't seem to get along very well at all. And it seems like every person that's left Gallagher's gym has now been given sort of big opportunities or big platforms with Matchroom. Like Liam Smith left, now he's basically getting all the fights that he wants. He's about to get the Jesse Vargas fight next, which is what he's been after for a couple years. Callum Smith, sorry, he's gone to Buddy McGirt. Obviously, he just got the Lennon Castillo highlight knockout. I'm sure he's onto a big fight coming up in his next one. I mean, the only people that I can think of that are still there, sort of, that was in that little bubble, was Callum Johnson, who's now obviously with the Frank Warren side, but he's been, what's he had, like 5 rounds of action in the last 4 or 5 years. So he's not really doing much with himself. And then you've got Natasha supposedly like turning down fights last minute on a Liverpool card that she's supposed to be on, or wanting the easiest of easy touches that will get the whole card slated if she's had these fights. Now, I can't defend what I don't know, so there could have been legit reasons. My boy Ring IQ on one of his videos earlier said that he suspects one of the reasons why they were so difficult in turning down a bunch of the fights that they were being offered is because they knew ultimately they was about to sign this boxer deal and didn't really need to take a fight with Matchroom. They didn't really want to take it. Now, for some reason, I can't see Tasha being that person. Like, at her age, activity is her best friend when it comes to the boxing. Being out of the ring for extended periods of time ain't helping. So that doesn't make sense. Like, literally nothing that I've thought about in the last 24 hours makes sense as to what this move is about. Like I said, if it's about going down to 130 and gambling on the fact that Michaela Mayer's gonna beat Maiva Hamadouche and at least have 2 belts free, or that Hyun-Mi Choi maybe isn't with Matchroom anymore, and then Terry Harper's the only person with, like, she's only got 1 belt, and then the other 3 end up sort of with Top Rank or other promotions that Sky can kind of do their deals with, that might make sense. But after splitting with Matchroom, I can't see her getting any further voluntary shots against any of the Matchroom champions that are currently there. Not unless you get into a mandatory position. So it seems like a long way round to get from A to Z. I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Like I said, it's one of those ones I need a bit more info on this. So I'm really keenly waiting for the interview or the comments or whatever to come from Tasha's to, sort of what this was really about, and, where the end goal ultimately is. And if it was just a case of it was a money thing and Sky were prepared to offer more money than Matchroom been offering, all right, fair enough. I can accept that. I just need to kind of know what the angle is, because like I said, if it's about her, because she said on Twitter or Instagram like these belts ain't gonna collect themselves. And it's like, but you're further away from the belts than you were before. So again, unless it's a mandatory thing, I don't see why I go on for that. But look, I wish her nothing but the best. Like I said, one of the few people I like from, the land of the Scouse. Is anyone who knows me knows my feelings. But good people overall, good people. But yeah, me and the accent don't get along. However, I quite like listening to her, which is very weird. But that's another story for another time. Anyway, I've said my piece. Like, leave your comments down below. Like, let me know kind of what you guys think of the situation. Again, like and subscribe. Now, like I said, I come from the gym, so I'm gonna go shower quickly. Maybe grab me some apple crumble, hit the sheets, get ready for another big day. Prediction vid tomorrow. I'm gonna do one for both the Michaela Maeva Hamadouche fight, and also the Canelo Alvarez Caleb Plant fight. I will upload that before I go out Friday night. So yeah, as always, thanks for watching, and Hardcore Casual out.